Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 4GQ TV here. We are streaming in 4K, hopefully, on those YouTube channels that you are watching right now. But we have a panel here tonight, and we have some pretty good topics. I know Paul can't wait to start doing catching some pals again.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to introduce the panel. We'll get into the topics, and Frog Boy is going to tell you a little bit about the AMD 7600 XT, which I think is probably his number one card right now. Paul, welcome back to the show, Mr. Ambassador.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the only background I had that I really like. So yeah, Xbox ambassador background. Good to be here. Can't wait to talk about some of this stuff. Should be an interesting conversation.
Nice.
I'm gonna keep it short because I know we're kind of in a hurry because Frog's got short time. So
Yeah, speaking of short, I might need to help you cosplay as a pineapple and cut your hair. Paul's ready to smack me. I can just see it. Welcome, PK. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Hope you've been having an all right time. Welcome back.
Thank you. Not in a good mood today. Can't get my camera going, so I'm not happy.
That's all right. We last minute used Google Meets because it didn't have a logo on there. So yeah. But most electrifying man on YouTube land. Anyway, welcome, Frog Boy.
What is up, my friends? Welcome to good to be back for another weekly.
Oh, Frog Boy froze.
We're going to talk about everything.
Oh, Frog Boy's freezing.
Frozen. I'm not freezing.
Yeah.
on our end, you are. You're cutting out.
It might be the background might be using too many resources at once.
Ooh.
Shouldn't be, but it could be.
Maybe. But we got a lot to talk about today. If you guys can still see me and I'm not like blinking out or anything, actually I am. I think we all are. Maybe we should. Is that what you guys are all saying?
No. We were speaking in complete English this whole time.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. So I'm going to pass it on over to PK and we'll move on.
All right, guys. I'm still not in a good mood. But welcome to the most electronic channel in all entertainment. This is your boy PK. Listen, I know I was going last week, and honestly, I do got a lot of things coming up that may be taking up a lot of my time. So, I'll be around, and I will still be here to entertain everybody best I can. And just letting you know, heads up, we do got a lot of stuff talking about. Where you want to start? You want to start with good news?
Well, why don't we start with Frog doing his thing? That way he gets it out of the way, so we don't get.
Hey, pause. Wait a minute. What are we talking about? What thing are we talking about here?
Do you not look? I guess you don't look in the DM.
You look.
Wait a minute. You're trying to get me to look at Paul. You just said watch him do his thing.
And he's going to talk about something that has to do with AMD.
Okay, you're talking about the new card, the very good budget model card.
Go ahead and pop this baby out. So this is the new 2060 Super Killer. This is going to be the GPU in everybody's PC going forward. We're going to be testing this out this week and next week. Going to do a 50 game test on this. So this is the AMD 7600 XT, 16 gigs of VRAM, and it looks beautiful. So so make sure you watch the video that's coming up. It's uploading right now for the unboxing, and then we will start getting into all of that other stuff later tonight. That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, just so you guys know, man, that is probably one of the best entry level cards you could pick up right now. Has 16 gigs of VRAM. I mean, there's not another budget model card that has that much memory.
So what's what's the price point on that?
I paid $349 and then an extra $50 to have that thing overnight shipped so that I can start getting content out immediately.
So as you hear, less than $400, you can have next gen, and it will keep you for a while because it can run anything at 1080p.
And
Yeah.
we're going to be testing this really closely. The biggest reason
full
I got
frame.
this is so that we can run this against the Xbox Series X and PS5 to see what you can get power wise, because it's got 128-bit bus, but it does say that it can do 1440p. So we're definitely going to be testing that against our 864p consoles.
And it supports fluid frame generation, which
Absolutely.
allows it to rebuild the image even better than native at some point, and man, and it allows it to perform it. Basically, all of this upscaler does is take the heavy lifting off of it, so it can just do what it got to do. Hey,
Nice.
all I'm saying is you can't beat that. 349, that's a steal.
No, that may be. I mean,
that's for this
so-
model. If you get the other ones are 329 or just the
Still,
base model.
still
but still, I mean,
less than $400. Come on.
that price
That's-
point
that's
puts it
an
as something
absolute-
that I might be able to afford sooner than later, which is because
Yeah.
I really do need to do some stuff
That's,
about myself.
that's what I'm
so.
saying. So for those out there,
Yeah.
this is a great budget model card even though I say budget, what I mean is by the price. I'm not
Yeah.
saying budget by the performance.
No,
Get that.
Yeah.
you getting price for performance here. It's not like if you go buy 4070 and then that used to be named a 4080,
right.
A
but they
4060.
renamed it.
It used to be a 4060.
And then
Or
the
3060.
4060
Mm,
that is outperformed by the 3060.
Yeah. Oh, Nvidia, my
Mhm.
friends.
But charge you $100 more. So all I'm saying is, hey, you guys definitely should check that out. That is a very good model card for the price for sure. I'll give you a little tidbit. Far Cry 6 has a HD pack. It requires your GPU to have 10 gigs of VRAM. You know
that's
what?
wild.
You know what
That's
cannot
not the
run
only
that?
ones.
You know what can't run the HD pack on Far Cry 6? A 3080.
Exactly.
just-
The 3080 got it. But
So
what?
when you get this budget model card, it wrecks a 3080 easily.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it has 6 gigs more VRAM, or no, twice the VRAM. I'm sorry, because the 3080 had 8 gigs. It didn't even have 10 gigs. The 3060 actually had more VRAM, which is quite embarrassing. But point I'm making is, hey, it is a very good card for the price. I think when Frog Boy does his video, you guys got to check it out. This man is going to go crazy and put it to the test 100%.
Wait, what's that card again? I'm serious. I'm gonna look it up right now. See if I can get it.
7600
XT.
XE
Radio.
XT,
XT. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
as
like
in Mr.
extra,
T.
Yep.
Mr. T.
Extra.
This card is freaking beautiful, man. This is probably my favorite looking one out of all of them so far. I love that matte black finish. So premium looking.
Shout out
I
to Yobi. He is the legend in the building. That's my brother. I love you, man. And you definitely can pick this card up on anywhere from Best Buy to Micro Center, anything that's close to you that does sell PC parts. You
I did
definitely can get that. You can even check out Amazon. However, be careful because some
I
people
had
mark up prices.
I had Newegg send this out to me. They were
So
the only
there you
ones
go.
to
You do have
get it
Newegg,
to
but
me.
I know there is some Micro Center somewhere in Florida, right?
No.
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 Nope.
Oh, well, you still could get it off their website. So definitely check out Best Buy and all them that sell PC parts, and you definitely can get you one, bro. No doubt.
I'm seeing 450 on Amazon. But
Yeah, so you might get some markups on Amazon. That's why I said be careful. Newegg's a good spot. Micro Center you can buy online. And you just gotta be careful on Amazon.
This is an AMD card. You probably don't have to worry about scalpers just
Yeah.
yet.
Well, it still might be because
Yeah.
it's still kind of hot. So, but just check it out, man. You can shop around and find it for sure.
Oh man.
But definitely check out Frog Boy's video when he gets it posted, man. He's gonna run it through the ringer.
It is. It is.
What's next on our list,
uploading
bro?
Right now.
So
What we got?
the first topic I really want to get into, and this would probably be a quickie, is that, some layoffs happened at Microsoft recently. All the tech companies are really doing layoffs, but Microsoft announced there's 1,900 jobs, across multiple divisions. One of them being a team that deals with physical retail. And there's, obviously rumors around there, but as Paul posted in the DMs earlier, there's no confirmation, and Jez says there's no confirmation that Microsoft is killing off physical media. It's just one of the teams that I guess happen to be dealing with that, and retailers is unfortunately has been what's the proper term, terminated. So it's always a sad thing when these things happen. I never wish it on anybody. But some of the biggest news that came out of this is that Mike Ybarra decided to leave Blizzard. I'm not sure if he really decided to leave Blizzard or if something else happened, but all the memos and stuff and his statements on Twitter say that he just decided to leave Blizzard. And the other thing is the customer support team, Blizzard, is probably going to be outsourced overseas. It's speculation because that department, also got closed down. I'm a little worried about that, and I just say that because in the past, when I got locked out of my Blizzard account, you send in driver's licenses, right? So I don't know if they kept that going for a while or not, but I just worry what they do with that data if it goes overseas. But, I'll just let the panel talk, and anybody goes whenever you feel like it.
Well,
so go ahead,
well,
jump
so-
in.
So let me just challenge this real quick. I want to first comment on some of the things you went. First of all, the data is not going across seas. There's some laws and regulations that no one wants to be a part of. GDPR. But anyways, thank you, Cozy, for saying Citibank's laying off 20K. That's bigger than that's what 10 times the size of the layoffs from Microsoft. And what I read in the memo is, hey, there's some jobs that are overlap, meaning that's like you hiring a driver, but you got another driver sitting in the back seat, and you both paying them, even though you're riding in one car.
Riding dirty.
I don't
Riding
see the reason to paying for both of these dudes. Somebody's got to go. Obviously, Activision Blizzard was not ran efficiently. And for years, historically, they've been laying off people more greater than 1,900 every year. If nobody knows, go look it up and see if I'm wrong. So it's
some
not-
people are going to look that up now.
And it's not unheard of. So I'm not saying I'm not going to go at Microsoft when you got to look at it from a business. They just bought a mess that they got to clean up. And of course, the financials are coming up to the head, and he's got to make decisions he might not want to do. And if he can't find places to put people, or maybe they refuse to go another place, he's got to do what he got to do. And the thing is, I'm not going to say that I'm happy someone lost their job. I mean, it happened to me. I went on vacation for my birthday, came back, and my whole department was gone when I got back. It was insane because
why did my key work? I don't know what happened.
it was because I ain't saying the company, but one of the top dogs was embezzling money, and then they had to sell off a whole bunch of stuff. But the point is, I'm making stuff like this happens. I understand, and it is sad when someone loses their job. However, when restructuring happens, when there are inefficiencies and overhead that can't be accounted for. Like, I'll tell you, one of my jobs, there was a guy who, I won't say a guy, there was a person who made trips to Vegas and charged the company no receipts, no nothing, no accountability. He went multiple times.
Jeez.
Cost the company $30K for his excessive trips, and there was no accountability for this. And they didn't even know what he did, what his job role was supposed to be.
Wow.
And that kind of stuff is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or I give you another example. Again, if you're and you don't even have to own a company, you're just working at a company and you're doing a job, but somebody next to you is above you in some sort of leadership and they don't do nothing. Is there a reason for them to be there? No.
Absolutely. It's called union.
No. What I'm saying is sometimes restructuring happens because look who ran the kitchen.
Yeah.
The same guy who destroyed Activision from the outside in, right? Because he basically took all of the supporting companies like Toys for Bob and High Moon Studios and etc. and just made them support groups for Call of Duty.
Absolutely.
Think
You
about
know,
that.
this is more. I mean, like it is like the 1900 people being laid off today from Activision, Blizzard, Xbox Studios it isn't just something that's just going to stop. This is part of a bigger problem. And I mean, we've all seen this coming for a long time now. As these companies continue to increase the prices of these games, they roll out these battle passes. They roll out these free to play with egregious um, ways to monetize these games and stuff. Gamers are starting to wake up. They're getting to a point where they're sick and tired of being nickel and dimed. And the beginning of this generation, I mean, NBA 2K. I like to blame PlayStation, but they're the first ones that came out as like a platform and said, yeah, we're hiking the prices. So they kind of get the brunt end of the deal. But you've all seen what has happened to the games. There are select games that do really well. You take a game like Palworld that just came out. This game is incredible. I mean, it's a buggy, broken, busted mess, but it's fun. Like, people are playing it, they're enjoying it, they're having a good time with it. And then when you compare that to the other games that are coming out for $70 freaking dollars, and they're broke, they're missing features, they take a long time to start getting these up. Well, honestly, the $10 is kind of a mental block for people. And like $60 was already like, ooh boy, but that's for some reason that $10 has been such a mental block this generation that it's costing these companies, these studios, good better sales. If they were to all go back down to $49.99, which I feel is the absolute sweet spot for the price of video games, I guarantee the whole thing would turn around. They would make more money, they would sell more copies, there would be less anxiety, there'd be less angry freaking YouTube videos out there for the video games. It like this industry, this gaming industry right now is eating itself alive. And games like Palworld and Fortnite and Roblox and all these other games that come out and they're free to play, or they're very cheap, and they offer tons of content, even though it's not great, high quality AAA content. Those games right there are going to set the future, and it makes it completely breaks the whole system to a point where like a lot more people are going to start getting laid off. Like these budgets of $300 million to build a 10-hour game, it's not sustainable. Like, I played through Spider-Man. I bought that. I paid $70 for it. I got about 15 hours of gameplay out of that game, and then I was like, okay, it was good, and then moved on. I buy the games. Like, I don't care. Like, the $70 is one thing. I want to play the game. I want to play the game day one. I want to experience that. But other people, they don't have the money to just sit and buy these $70 bangers for 10 hours. People want longevity in their games. And if you don't believe that, just look at all the games that do well. Starfield's out there rocking it. All these multiplayer games are doing good. A lot of these free-to-play games, like, they just cannot sustain building games like Spider-Man for $300 million. And then when they don't do well, then people are getting laid off. What's going on with, Microsoft laying people off, especially after becoming a $3 trillion company? I think it's kind of disrespectful, but I do get the point that, like the redundancies and stuff like that. They got a lot of talent now. They got a lot of talent with all these studios. They need to, if they cannot, keep them at the studios they're at, then they should branch out and create new studios with the talent that they've already got. So I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid to let 1,900 people go, but they're a corporation, and it is what it is.
So I want Paul to speak, but I want to just, it's not really a rebuttal. I just want to comment on Frog Boy. So I understand his point of view, and it does suck when anybody loses their job. But what I want to mention is I agree with what you're saying about spending 300 million on a budget to make a game like Spider-Man. But the real question is, what are you spending it on? Because Spider-Man is nothing special when you have Rocksteady, who made a better game called Batman Arkham Knight with less money, and it still looks better than Spider-Man. It's not even in 4K, doesn't even have a HD pack, but it still looks better. So what are they spending it on? The real question is, what are they? Is mainly marketing.
Marketing,
Okay, let's just be real.
super high quality
they-
cutscenes.
They spend more money on the hype than they do the quality, right?
Quality, yeah, because
Think
there was a
about
little
this.
bit. It was missing a
Pokemon,
little bit of quality.
none of the Pokemon main series games on the Switch are nowhere near the same quality they were from the older generations. Yet they
Absolutely.
cost more, they charge double, they have less content, they run like crap. I never seen a Nintendo game run like crap, but that runs like garbage. 15 frames is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what I'm getting at is, just like Nintendo just came out and said, oh, we're going to give up on Metroid Prime 4 after 7 years of hype.
Yeah. Did they say that just recently?
Yes.
When?
Today.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pissed about that. And all
Man.
I'm saying is, this is where I'm coming from. Is I'm not saying that you're wrong. I agree with your point of view, but I also want to add that there's more sides to this, because you have to see, what are they spending their money on? Again, Microsoft just inherited a problem that's not going to get fixed in 3 months. It literally takes a year and a half to 2 years to really sort that crap through and get them integrated fully. It really does. I worked at many companies that did acquisitions and was acquired. Okay. And it was not easy. All the changes and things that happen, it takes time. That's a lot of people to shuffle around and try to get them onboarded to the new way of life. And then as you're going through these, you have people that are going around and trying to understand, what is the purpose of this role, or what are they doing to bring, and in that industry, they're for profit. So if you are just overhead and you're not bringing in nowhere your role can generate revenue, then what is your purpose? See, that's where I'm getting at. And I'm not saying they will outright fire you. Honestly, they may offer another position somewhere else, but some people might disagree that that's what they want to do, and they take the severance, and that happens too. So there's a lot of complexities. I'm not saying it's right to just dismiss people, but look, you have to adapt. You have to adapt. We're in a technological world. In technology, you don't have a choice. Technology waits for nobody. You can't do the same thing you was doing 20 years ago. Hell, you can't do the same thing you was doing yesterday.
No, I mean, like 5-year dev time for games, man. That's too long. That is way too long.
Sometimes 7.
Yeah,
but you heard what I said.
Unless you're building something out like an incredible RPG, like games like Starfield, or gosh dang it, what's the other one? The other one that they make?
No Man's Sky?
No, not No Man's Sky. The other, like, I'm drawing a blank today.
What, the Oblivion or Skyrim?
Yeah,
or
Skyrim. Those type of games, those ones they can do longer dev cycles on, because they are,
the content in there is different,
or that it's different content. But like a lot of the stuff that they're trying to bring out, when they start building this game, and then like 2 years in, it's already outdated freaking stuff. You know what I mean? It's like not cool. It's not hip anymore. And I don't know, man. It's so dumb.
No, I agree with that session, and that's part of the problem of what they were trying to get rid of. Like, if they don't see, when you invest in something and your investors expect a turnaround on their investment, right?
Yeah.
So
there's so much freaking,
if you can't make that investment show value after a certain, like, they do project, they got a lot of smart people that do financial projections, and if it looks like it's going to take an L, like a huge one, they can't report that to shareholders. They got to cut the fat, right?
Everything's going to take an L.
So it's kind of like that. When you look at how Activision was ran, It was a mess. It was a freaking jungle over there, bro. That's why you know, Jeff Kaplan left the Overwatch team. Matter of fact, the original Overwatch devs, all of them are gone because they switched their business model. They got rid of who cared about the quality of the game. And I'm an Overwatch fan, and I'm gonna say it. They changed how they ran this company, and because of that, a lot of people left. People who cared. And as far as Mark Ebar, I mean, he left Microsoft to go to Blizzard, and then he left Blizzard because he would have worked with Microsoft. Let's just be real.
That's speculation though. There's no evidence to say that.
Paul. I want to hear Paul say.
Yeah, I want to hear Paul's take.
Yeah.
So I got harped on today because I was saying it's just business. Acquisitions and mergers, this kind of thing happens. We expected it. I mean, it should be expected. And I got, well, don't you care about the worker? Yes, I care about the worker, but I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint. I'm sorry they were made redundant, but from a business standpoint, mergers and acquisitions result in reorganization and what's the C word I'm looking for? I had it earlier.
Corporation?
No.
Greedy corporation?
No, stop. It's not that. It's but basically the idea to take and you want to streamline your work group so that you're where you need to be. You don't have too much that you don't need. Too much redundancy is not a good thing, and I'm sure some of those people, they got laid off. Like PK said, they may be offered a job elsewhere and may choose to take it or not take it within the same company. Who knows? But also the fact that I also thought about it and talking about the shape that ABK was in when this all started. Some of this could be used to also clean house in ways that ABK didn't, as far as some of the bad actors that were in there.
I mean, I guess if they're going through and getting rid of all the super woke crazy people, I mean,
no. I'm talking about the ones that were part of the drama that actually triggered a lot of
the
this.
bad eggs, is what he's saying.
Yeah, from the people that were accused things.
Yeah, because now they can do this without having to deal with the proactive.
Right, they're in a different home now, so they can't get away with that shit no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and by saying, well, we got to do layoffs because there's too many of you in this department, and you and OU are out of here. A couple of those U's may be out of there not because they're not qualified, but because they were part of the problem at ABK.
Well, how are they going to get the next Call of Duty out now?
They've got plenty of studios to do that.
I'm sure they ain't worried about that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, like PlayStation or somewhere else, people.
It was on the other foot. PlayStation.
There's no making excuses for all of them. I mean, it is what it is.
It's not an excuse. It's business.
Yeah. Well, I get that it's business, but.
You don't hire a whole nother company with a bunch of other vice presidents you no longer need and keep them anyway, or a bunch of other developers you don't need anymore and keep them anyway just because.
I'm with the ponies on this one, man. Xbox is going downhill. No, I'm just joking.
No, I understand. I understand both sides, right? So
Xbox is doomed.
On a high level, it looks bad because of the highlight, the highline. I mean, understand that none of us can see between the lines and see everything,
right.
But I did read the memo, and it did talk about overlap and redundancy.
Stupid, man. It's like buying all these studios and
get rid of people. At the same time, Phil's job is to make Xbox profitable. If he can't make it profitable, he's going to lose it. So he has to do what he's got to do. And I'm not saying it was up to him. It was a lot of things that happened that reported to him and his board and let him know that, hey, some stuff is off.
Yep, and I can guarantee you that when they first started talking about this deal, one of the things they talked about is they started looking at the staffing and go, okay, we have X amount of this. We're going to have to get rid of so many percentage here, so many percentage.
Restructure happens every time there's an acquisition.
Consolidation.
Look what happened to Warner Brothers as soon as it got tossed around through AT&T and Discovery.
And Discovery, yeah. I mean,
it's it happens all the time because one, like Paul mentioned, even Frog Boy, everybody mentioned some good things, right? And the thing is, it is that complex. So it's not a one answer. I just my whole thing is we shouldn't look at it high level at the tagline, because that's just
Right.
made for clicks. Just, anything negative is just made for clicks. But try to understand that this is everywhere. It's not
Yeah.
just Microsoft or Xbox. Everybody, every
Yeah.
company is going through this because technology is changing, and there are more people that,
I blame
things.
AI.
And
I mean, honestly,
Go
I still haven't
ahead.
had a
Go
chance
ahead.
to finish.
Yeah, go
Geez.
ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
No,
Paul.
not you. But they top loaded during COVID. They have to, so that's coming, they some of that's gonna clear off as well. I mean, there's all kinds of some people say, well, that's just excuses.
No, it's
No,
true.
it's just business.
It is
It's
true.
their first fiduciary responsibility is to the investor, not to us, or not even to their employees. That's
yeah,
Well, I mean,
that's
go
true.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Clowns.
I was just gonna say that, like Paul was alluding to, that a lot of companies topped off during the pandemic. They hired, especially gaming companies, that hired more employees because gaming skyrocketed during the pandemic. People were going out, getting more consoles. People were doing more subscription services. People were trying to buy more physical hardware, even retro hardware. I mean, PS3s were selling out at some places. So
Yeah.
there's definitely truth to that. And the other thing also is that Frogboy mentioned AI, and there's got to be some truth to AI, because AI has also kind of taken jobs away from other companies like Google and other places. Even news organizations are laying up people off, and
It's making jobs redundant
it is AI can
because
do
AI can just do everything when it comes to programming and stuff like that.
AI can program, AI can edit, AI can speak to itself, AI can design, AI can do architecture, AI can do contractual agreements, AI
right.
can.
What used to take
Thanks, NVIDIA bros.
what
God.
used to take 10 people now takes just one guy to oversee
but
what the AI is
but
doing.
but you know what that did is it created a new job source,
Right.
where we need prompt engineers. We need people who knows how to run knowledge LLMs, or so these things didn't exist, is what I'm saying. We just changed, and the
Right.
trend is going a different direction, meaning people just need to adapt.
Well,
Yep.
yes,
Oh,
people.
I also real quick. I also wanted
You
to
mean they're
speak
gonna
to
have to
the.
learn how to change tires again?
I also wanted to speak to the project that got canceled. Now, PK touched on this. It may be they looked at, okay, how many years you've been working this? How much money's gone into it? Where are you with the project? Okay, there's no way in how we're going to finish this project. It could just
Yeah, how
be
much is it going to cost them?
right.
You
How
know,
much is it going to cost on already
are
on
you
what's
going to
been spent,
recoup
and how
that?
much longer is it going to take? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Seriously,
we don't
And
have that information, so it's not
I
fair to
would
go.
say I would say
Yeah.
all of the above could be a part of it, and
You're
that's
right.
the thing. And it's not just Microsoft. That's why I keep bringing up. It's everybody, bro. Everybody's going. I mean, literally at my
Bracer
job,
Group
we
just
had a
dropped
consolidation
people.
where
Riot
we
just
had
dropped people, man.
they had 11 instances of Salesforce in one organization. That makes no sense. It should only be one license, yet we had 11 because everybody had their own. You know how much money we're throwing away because of that?
Yeah.
Or you get what I'm saying. So when consolidation happens, they see all this, and they see the overaging spending, and so they're trying to see how can we put this together,
Yep.
save money, and keep it profitable, because at the end of the day, that's their goal, is to make it profitable. I know it
Yep.
sucks, and I'm not
And the
agreeing
other
that
thing I've
doesn't.
seen is they shouldn't have given Kotick his golden parachute. You know what? They don't have a choice. That's in his contract. They'd be in violation.
I
In
would
two
no, I
ways.
don't.
400
I
million
really
dollars.
think nobody
Yeah.
wanted to give him that. I think
No,
that was just a
nobody.
part. I think that was just what it was in order to get the deal done.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. Nobody wanted to give him that. If
No,
they
and so it's not like they could choose. Well, we're not going to give it to you, so we can keep these people out. No, that wasn't really an option. They would have paid a lot more if they would have tried that. They would have.
if there was a way out of it, they would have did it. That's 100. That's why the deal was made, that he was going to get paid one way or another. It didn't matter if it went through or not.
All right, well, let's talk. I'm going to go ahead and move it on to Palworld. All right. I know we beat the subject forever, and Frogboy's so excited about Palworld. I can tell, man. He's blowing the graphic cards. So
I think I played it for a total of what, 35, 40 minutes?
And you were done? Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go to Power,
it's
I just want to give a
alright.
shout out to Prince of Persia. That's a great game.
Prince of Persia. Yeah, dude, I
Prince
got
of
about
Persia.
45 minutes into that one too.
That's
I tried it. I tried it.
I'm
That's
about
a good
45
game.
minutes into Shroud too. 45
It's,
minutes into Tekken 8.
I love
These games.
Metrovania games, and honestly, I'm not even the biggest Ubisoft game fan, but I really did dig that game. It's real good quality. Didn't have a lot of bugs and nothing. It just was solid. And
Did you beat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Played it
haven't
all the
beat
way
it yet.
through. I 100% it. It was
Nice. Yeah.
Whereas
Love-
I can't play it, but that's okay. I
and
mean,
wait a minute, it does have accessibility options where it even allows you to skip.
It's got easy peasy mode.
It doesn't
Allows
matter.
Allows you to skip.
it has to do with the fighting. No, it has to do with the fight timing on the bosses. I can't. There's just no.
You can turn it down to 0, bro. You can make yourself turn and
I gotta find that then, because I didn't see that when I went through the menus. I didn't.
It's almost like Guardians of the Galaxy for the options, to be honest. But
Dude, you
yeah,
can do that on Forspoken, man. You can make it so you don't take damage at all.
yeah, it's almost like that, but not.
I
You
did
can do that on The Last of Us Part 2 as well.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it on Prince of Persia. All I know is it was.
But it's a solid game over and over and over.
Again, when I say that, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I want to play it. I'm just saying that as it stands right now, I wasn't able to play it.
I think for $50, I think that's a solid price for what they give you. I actually spent twice the amount of time that you would take to play Spider-Man than you could to play Prince of Persia, and it was only $50. But go ahead and let's go back to Palworld. I just want to shout out to everybody. If nobody played it, definitely check that out.
Listen, okay, so I played Palworld. I played a lot of Palworld.
Yeah, me too.
And I like it, and I don't like it. So I'm just going to briefly say my stance, and then talk about the AI debacle, and then you guys can jump in. So my stance on Palworld is that it's very creative. It's unique for sure. The guns, the building, having your base, and collecting your pals, and however you do it, in the order that you do it, egg incubation, it's all pretty cool. Like, I like those mechanics. Now, the biggest gripe I have with it, and I know it's an early access, and it could just be an early access thing, so I'm going to put that out there in case anybody is going to talk about that later, is that I think that there's not enough quest or story in the game right now. I really wish there was, like, you walk, a lot of more villages, you walk around, people are like, hey, what's up? I need help finding my lost dog. And then you go help find the lost dog, something like that. But that's not in the game. So
doesn't it do that in multiplayer? Doesn't it do that in multiplayer?
So keep in mind, clowns, that on Xbox and Xbox PC, we don't have dedicated servers. So we don't have 32 players in our world.
Yeah, I'm not interested in multiplayer. I don't like multiplayer.
What I'm saying is, when you do that, that would add those different contents and the different things that's in the world. They actually build all that stuff out. That's what we're missing. And I know they're going to do that and add crossplay, but I just want to keep that in mind. And yes, it is an early access. So obviously they're going to add more stuff to it. And since it's so successful, I 100% believe it that they will. Look where Fortnite started and look where it's at now.
I walked into Palworld, saw Hunger Gauge, turned around, and walked right back out.
I don't like Hunger Gauges.
I hate Hunger Gauges. But
again,
I'll tell you right
you can
now,
adjust that too.
in Shrouded, no Hungry Gauge. I like
You
it.
can turn off the Hunger Gauge in Palworld.
Can you?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I will look for that. If I can turn off the Hungry Gauge, then I'll play.
You can adjust all your server settings.
I like the
before you
open
start.
world. I mean, I was joking about like the 35 minutes. I got about maybe 3 hours in it. I've got maybe 3 hours in Palworld because I was playing it and I kept making videos, recording them. Every time it kept crashing on me though.
Yes, so on the Xbox and Xbox PC version,
PC. Yeah.
it did have a bug where it would crash. That they are supposed to be working to fix because again, we don't have dedicated servers on that side of the house.
Maybe I'll just buy.
But the Steam version does.
Steam version.
So the Steam version is more stable at
Oh.
this moment of time. So just FYI.
Yeah,
I'll just
but
buy it,
I'm
yeah.
I'm kind of just saying like in the single player, I want all those quests. I don't. I'm never gonna play multiplayer in that game. I have no intentions to ever play multiplayer. So I want all that stuff to come to single player.
Yep. Just a quick reminder about early access. Remember, Grounded was in early access for over 2 years. It was on the service and people were playing it. No, it was for 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
It was and people
Grounded's awesome though.
Yeah.
That's one
but Grounded, they even through open app access, they kept adding to it. You kept seeing it grow.
Yeah, no different than Fortnite or any other thing that's like that. I mean, even what Baldur's Gate 3 was.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 was in because I owned it for 2 years and forgot I owned it. So
level 22, about 10 hours in. Nice.
Yeah.
But I understand where Clowns is saying, but again, it's I mean, they didn't expect it to do well. I've been waiting on this game for 3 years and I'm just glad it just came out. So, but I understand where you're coming from. You want more linear content, and I'm sure they'll definitely put all that stuff in there. They got a roadmap already because people are asking for PvP, crossplay, all that good stuff.
Timothy, I don't know how to say that.
You want to get that super chat there, Frog?
What's up, my bros? I love my new setup. Clowns and PK Poly Mustard on pizza shirts being made. Game Pass Soul Brother approves this message. What's up, 108 Dragon? Thank you for the dollars. I'm going to put myself through college with that.
Wait a minute. Do you went to college? I didn't know that.
So
I've been to college, man.
So
walked out 5 minutes.
That's the saying now. I just walked in and walked out.
No, real quick. I mean, not to cut everybody off, but I just want to tell a story. So I met this guy at the YouTube creator meetup. His name is Soup Timmy. You guys, some of you may have heard him, some may not. But he's got like 4.2 million subs on YouTube.
Video's good.
He does Rubik's Cube art, and he's a genius with Rubik's Cubes. And people were talking to him at the event, and we asked him, well, some people asked him, like, did you ever go to college, or what did you graduate in? He goes, here's my story.
New card smell.
I walked into college, spent about 20 minutes in class, realized it wasn't for me, left college, went home, sat at the table, ate soup, and said I was going to create a channel called Soup to Me. And now he's got 4.2 million subscribers. So I want to congratulate him on his success. He's a really nice guy. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, feel free to do so. But with Palworld, man, like that's what I like. That's what I don't like. And there's an AI debacle around it too. I'm just going to touch on that. And you guys can talk about it. But a lot of people online just made the accusations that these models are AI generated. They ripped off these models. These meshes look alike. Blah, 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 blah.
Does it matter though?
No, because it's not illegal. You can't copyright an idea. Cars look alike. Cars
where that comes from?
Similar.
You know where it came from?
I do. I know where it came from.
Garbage Pail Kids and Cabbage Patch Kids. You know what? You can sell parodies. It's perfectly legal in America. Can't copyright an idea. And the meshes are different. Somebody actually did a full in-depth thing. They're slightly different, and they're designed differently, so they're not pulled from the same pattern. They just happen to mimic what they saw in some senses. But I mean, like, they designed it themselves. They didn't just say...
It's okay to...
Dude, they should have straight up did a Pikachu that had like water power or something, dude. That'd have been fun. It's not electrical. He's got water.
Listen, I'm a Pokemon fan. I've been a Pokemon fan from the very beginning, and I'm gonna tell you now, a lot of people, especially the Pokemon community, that is toxic.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, they went to Nintendo and complained. Nintendo had to do a response. Say, okay, we'll invest. We are investigating. But you know what? Nintendo's the type of company that if they had something right now, they would have pulled it immediately. There's nothing they can do at this moment.
But good luck, Nintendo.
But I mean, they're not infringing on anything because you can easily be influenced and make something similar without making the same thing. First of all, it's not even Nintendo. I'm gonna just put it out here. Let me tell you guys something. Nintendo don't own Pokemon. They own a portion of Pokemon. The Pokemon company owns Pokemon, and then Game Freak owns another portion. So all three of them own Pokemon, but Pokemon company owns the bigger share, so they own the controlling share of the brand. So they get to say what happens. So I just want you guys to know. I know we associate Nintendo with Pokemon, but they really don't have a say so on anything. What it is Game Freak is a lazy ass developer. And yes, I said it. They are trash.
Absolutely.
They are garbage.
Oh,
like
wow.
we just got through talking about how the hell they gonna charge twice as much for these darn main series games, give you less content, and just keep selling it. Don't even fix the game. Don't even fix the buggy mess or the frame rates and none of that, but want to sell DLC. What? How disrespectful. And then get mad when a game that costs 2.5 times less than yours outsell yours by multiples. You know why? Because this is what people been wanting for years who are Pokemon fans, but never got, because you keep giving them what you want them to have and not what they want. Because you want to sell them two. This is what they do. Put two $70 games that are exactly the same and just try to make it mutually exclusive for a couple monsters. And don't put all the content in it anyway, and then sell it. And yes, Pokemon sells. That's why they don't care. They lazy. When's the last time that Game Freak made a AAA game that actually was awarded for anything? Never.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
they are terrible. They're terrible. So with that being said, that's where that AI crap come from. Sorry. What was you saying?
I also believe the CO the COO, whoever was saying how he thinks AI is a good thing, blah blah blah. So they're jumping on that, saying, well, he must have used AI because
it doesn't matter. He can feel.
I know
how
it doesn't. I know. I'm not saying it does.
Even if he did, so what? Guess who's playing the game?
Yep.
At the end of the day, like everybody mentioned, this game costs less to make, and look what kind of exposure it is. What I'm saying is Nintendo had a winning formula and crapped on it for years and still didn't develop it into the monster it could be. And then somebody else took it and ran with it, and look where you at. And it's not the only game. There is a Korean developed game with even better graphics, another monster capturing game that has not came out yet.
Yep.
And that's another game I was looking at. So it's if these games pose a challenge and cut into their revenue, then maybe Game Freak, maybe Pokemon Company will fire Game Freak and get an actual game developer. Because let me just say this: every Pokemon game that was not made by Game Freak was 1,000 times better. Tell me who liked Pokken Tournament that was made by Namco Bandai. Pokemon Arena was not made by Game Freak. Pokemon Snap was not made by Game Freak. Had better graphics than the darn real game.
Yep.
Pokemon Masters on the darn phone looks better than the real game. What the heck, dude?
Yeah.
These guys are garbage.
Yep. It's it's to me, it's no, the whole capture the monster thing is no different than all the different card collector games you have. Yu-Gi-Oh and all that. They're different, but in a sense, they're the same. At least to me,
they are similar.
Yeah,
they are similar.
So to me, it's no different than that, and I don't necessarily see the Magic the Gathering folk going after every other card game that hits the market. Yeah.
Well, all I'm looking at is I just want to say that I understand any critiques. That's the whole point. Is in early access is to give those critiques, right? So if Paul don't like something, say it. If a frog boy say, you know what, this needs a little bit of shine, say it. That's the point.
But I'll tell you what, 3 million sold in under 4 days. I mean, that's sold.
8 million.
8 million. That doesn't count those of us who play. That doesn't count those of us who play it on Game Pass. It's
8 million. 1.3 of it is on Game Pass for sure.
At what is it? $40 a pop or something?
30.
$30 a pop. So yeah, do the math.
That is a massive success for low end investment here, and did not believe it would be that big.
No.
And what I'm saying is, I'm not telling people to like it. I'm saying in general,
Yep.
Every game ain't for everybody, but this is, if you understand that Pokemon is in the Guinness Book of World Records, the largest IP in the world. It is the biggest, most profitable IP in the world. So when you look at something like that and it has that much influence, when you make something that is what
Right.
those demographic has been looking for,
Yeah.
open world version that's legal to play, because there's open world versions that's not legal to play.
Right.
Where Nintendo can't strike them down, and they can play with their buddies and do the similar stuff. It may not be one for one, but similar. That is a winner, and that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. I think
that-
I love it when these little games come out and they take the world by storm. Vampire Survivors did the same thing. It's like, these are the companies that don't go out thinking, oh, we're going to sell millions. No, these are the guys thinking, oh, we'll do okay. And then
I
this crap
generally look
happens.
at
Yeah.
rethink about what Frog Boy says about how the gaming industry got to rethink their investments, but also got to rethink about where's the hole.
They need to put their
Right?
they
What
need
what
to
have
they
we
need to
been
bring that
missing?
price
And what I
back
keep
down to
saying is,
49.
the Pokemon community have truly been missing a true open world version of what they want to play for. And then there's more fans out there who don't want to sit on a Switch and play this garbage, low grade piece of crap that they are being offered and shoved down their throat. Think about how Frog Boy would feel if he had a 4060 right now and trying to getting charged more money than what it's worth, and he's trying
I'd
to.
be sad.
He's
I'd have
sad.
to
He's
deal with
muted. He can't even
DLSS.
talk.
Am I muted?
Well, I can't.
No, he
hear
was.
you. I don't
He
know.
was. You
But,
bent down to vape. I'm betting.
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. I'd be way sad if I had a 4060.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible. Because then I'd be stuck with DLSS. I don't like it. It's a little bit too perfect. Okay. It really does. I don't like the way it makes my games look. It makes everything just look too perfect. I like a little bit of character in my games. Sorry.
So, Paul, do
Little
you
bit
got anything that you want to say about Palworld?
I enjoy it. I think all the negative hype is it's just overblown stuff that got basically buried after all the Microsoft news today. Everybody forgot about Palworld, which is cool. It's the day. What are we gonna complain about on Twitter today? It's like so now it's gonna be about layoffs in Microsoft for the next few days until the next big thing happens. Yeah.
Well, Cozy, I agree. It doesn't have to be Power World, but it needs to evolve like it says. And we need to get back to catching them all and not just
Yeah.
some.
Yeah. What is the deal with that? So now they're not even all available anymore. You just
No, they started that with the first main series Switch game. Like, what the hell?
So now they got to change it to got to catch. Well, most of them.
So what they do is, this is the hustle, right? They created a cloud, a SaaS, where you got to pay to put your Pokemon in this cloud SaaS to keep them. And for people like me who have rare Pokemon that are worth money, yes, I'm serious. This is a huge problem, because now you can't transfer all your Pokemon to anything. You got to wait until they allow you to play it on the next thing. And the thing about the Pokemon, and so that means you got to pay every year to keep your Pokemon in their SaaS while they hustle you on that and keep hustling you on these bad games. And then
so
just think
dare I
about
ask
this.
how much this costs to have access to the SaaS?
I mean, it's not super expensive. It's like $15 a year, but the point is, you still got to pay.
But yeah, it's still a point.
But the point I'm making is that when you think about it, the Pokemon community, I don't care if you don't like Garbodor, that's somebody's favorite Pokemon. And if he or she or they or it cannot play Garbodor in Pokemon, they're going to be really sad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why divide your community? How about you give them
the whole idea?
Want?
The whole idea for having to pay to save your stuff, though. I mean, that's to me, that's no better than PlayStation making you pay to keep your
yes,
saves.
But nobody calls Nintendo out for this garbage.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Well, I have to go. I need to get started working
All
on
right.
this stuff. It's
Tell
getting
them
late,
what's
so.
up before you go, man, and where to
Thank
find
you
us.
guys for coming out to support us tonight. I'm sorry I got to leave early. Just spent all the money on the graphics card. I got to start testing it. So I'm already a day behind, but I really love these talks. I really love being a co-host on the channel. You can find me at Frogboy X1 Gaming if you want to find out more about the 78 or the 7600 XT. But yeah, man, it's been great. I really love this. I love how passionate the community is here. So we will see you guys next week. Every Thursday going forward, I will be here, even if I'm just here for a little while. So we'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thanks, man. See you next time, man.
Yep, we'll see
Definitely
you guys
check
next
out that
week.
video when he posted for that 7600 XT, man.
You guys
So,
have fun.
as-
Enjoy your Pokemons.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy
All
this
right, guys.
Look at-
Pokemon.
look
See you guys.
Cozy know what I'm talking about. People train for generations. No joke. Literally have a Ash Pikachu with every single hat that he's ever worn. Can't use it. Literally have
It's
Ash
so
the
weird
Ninja.
that you can't. That's what gets me. Is you can't use it. It's not even though you
Can't
have it.
use it.
They
Can't
don't give
use
you
it.
access
Can't
to it.
use
That's
Ash the Ninja. Can't use, man.
Oh,
They
wow.
lock it up. They put it in jail, and then you're done. You just gotta wait. I'm hoping that one day, one day, Game Freaks like we can't. Technology is not good enough. We can't put all the Pokemon in one game. That's a damn lie. Look at Dragon Quest 11. It has 1,200 monsters, all unique animations, and they all different. But you can't put 1,000 in yours, and you only got 4 moves you can put on the monster, and it's a turn base. Turn base, my guy.
sorry, everyone. Our Windows messed up when Frogboy left, so I'm just trying to fix them real quick. But keep on talking, guys.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
Paul.
It-
How would you feel?
I would not, dude. Just the idea that you got this stuff, but you can't use it. I wouldn't play the game, dude. Seriously, I wouldn't. I would. Go,
I haven't, Paul.
I'm
I
out.
have not bought a single main series Pokemon game since. I refuse, and I'm
like
still
it.
I refuse until
Yeah.
they get their crap together. I'm not buying one. I'm not
Yes.
telling nobody
Nope.
else not to do it, but I'm just saying in general.
I'd be like, I'm out. I'm good.
I'm just saying that really pees me off because I'm a huge fan. I love battling, breeding, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to play with all my toys, not just some of them.
Right. And it should, and even if you did want some of them, you should be able to choose which some you want. You should be the one who chooses. Okay, let's put this guy in the closet. Let's pull this one out.
Again, their mentality is give you what they want you to have, not what you want, and then they turn around and wonder why their gaming industry is shrunk.
Well, maybe they'll look at what's happening with Palworld and go, you know what? We may.
They are looking. They trying to find a way to sue them to get money because they are.
I mean, outside of that, instead of suing them for money, do that and improve your own game. It's like,
they got to get rid of Game Freak. That's just the main thing. They got to get rid of the problem. The problem is Game Freak. Let Namco Bandai develop the game. I guarantee you'll be gangster because they will do something over the top.
Or reach out beyond Nintendo. I used to play Pokemon on the.
Well,
on the
Nintendo's not developing it. That's what I keep saying.
But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, then why isn't it on PC? Why isn't it on any?
Because it's the Pokemon company's decision. The Pokemon company has to get rid of Game Freak. They have to choose another successor to develop the game and stop doing. As long as Pokemon continues to sell, they don't care. Now, this Palworld and whatever the Korean game that come out, I think it's called Oki something. If that comes out and it start eating into their profit, then they might change their mind. But I'm just giving you an example. Perfect Volcarona. I hate that bug, but yes.
So I kind of there's one last topic I really want to get into.
Yeah.
When you guys are done discussing.
Yeah,
this.
we're done, man. We're waiting on you.
Okay.
We was just talking, remember?
I wasn't sure.
You told us to talk while you
hole.
over there, doing
you
some
said
kind
just
of
keep
magic.
talking, so that's what we're doing.
I had to fix the thing the best I could on the fly. So the other thing I want to talk about is that PlayStation finally has disabled Cronus Zen. from their consoles. Cronus Zen has made an official statement saying that they're working on fixing the issue. They know that the PlayStation recent update has disabled their software and firmware on their devices. And they're basically saying, like, hold tight, we'll see what we could do. But I think this is kind of like writing on the wall. We saw, even though people have gotten around Microsoft, hey, what's up, Distinctive One? People gotten around the Microsoft situation with the error codes that were happening on licensed devices or whatever that was going on a while back. It still did affect some devices, and it probably will in the future. But now this is PlayStation's official answer. So I think the console industry is starting to fight these kind of devices. Hey, what's up, Crispy? And I think, PK, I know that you have a lot of friends in a lot of places that do hardware things, and they probably mess with all kinds of stuff for different reasons. They probably even hook them up to PCs. But what's your take on this? And then, Paul, I want to get your accessibility take on this too, because I think
I don't know what that is that you're talking about. Actually, that's
so real quick. A Cronus Zen is something that basically you could hook up to a device, and it tricks the console into thinking that's a controller hooked up. But essentially, you can use a mouse and keyboard as well with it.
Okay.
And the console thinks it's a controller. But I think, in my mind, for people that need accessibility, it's a viable option in some circumstances. I mean, it is known to be abused, don't get me wrong. But I do think that it does have beneficial things. And I would rather see them geared towards being accessibility devices rather than modification devices at this moment. And Paul, just give me your stance on that in a moment. But PK, from your standpoint, what do you think?
I think for one thing is you talking about accessibility. That's not the motivation or the goal behind this device.
No,
The motivation and goal behind this device, yes, it makes things easier when you're playing multiplayer games, but that the whole point is, and not just to make it easier, but to give you an advantage when you're playing against keyboard and mouse. So they trying to level the playing field when you're playing against keyboard and mouse. I don't care what nobody says. Whenever you have PC mixed in with console, a console, matchmaking, it's still a disadvantage. I don't care what they say. Oh, you're only gonna know only nothing. If it's only console, then you don't have that problem. But when it's console and PC, and I'm not saying PC guys are better, it's just that they do have an advantage for as pointing and clicking over trying to use your thumbs to kind of aim, and yes, the aim assist is not good enough because it's more like a magnet, not a precise. I'm a shoot you in the head. So my thing is, I think it is what it is. I mean, I don't care if you try to ban this, they'll just make a new one. They'll make something else and they'll make it more savvy. My thing is, you can't just ban accessories. That makes people want to play your console. And honestly, they bought it. They should get to use it however they want. If a multiplayer game doesn't want it on their stuff, then that's their prerogative. They can ban it, but don't ban it from a console. That's crazy. That's insane. You sit here and spend all this money. That's like me buying my car and I mod it, and then all of a sudden you decide to make it a law I can't drive my car after I spent all this darn money on it. No way. You're not about to tell me that. I will move. I ain't about to spend all this money on all these mods for you to tell me I can't drive my car. How about you just don't let them sell the parts in the state or place? That doesn't mean I won't get them, but the point is, you get what I'm saying, right? They bought the console. You own that. If I want to put butterflies on the darn screen, I should be able to do that without you trying to ban me for it. If I want to put Paul's face across everything and just have pineapples on the side.
And you all should want that. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is, if you bought the hardware, it should be unrestricted for you to do whatever the hell you want to do with it. because you own it. You pay for it with receipt. You didn't pay for a license. You paid to own it. That means if someone steals it from you, you can call the cops or sue them for stealing. It's not like a license, right?
Yes.
So, all right. So it's different in my and far as this controller, I mean, or the device or whatever, any controllers, devices, or anything. I understand that people get upset because they feel like it's cheating, but cheating is going to happen regardless. Why are you? You got people cheating that don't have these things. The amount of cheaters who don't have these devices, right? The people that use these devices is such a subset of the amount of modders and cheaters that are grossly outnumbering this. So you're focusing on the wrong thing. If
Interesting.
if you want to focus on the problem, then you need to focus on the bigger problem, not try to knock out some little weeds that don't even move a needle in comparison. Dude, I remember when this guy argued with me and says, um, PC, that all they do is hack and cheat. I said, Destiny was not on PC for many years. And guess who had cheaters and people who DDoSed and people who would glitch in walls? They did it in Halo 3.
Yeah.
Literally, when Halo 3 had the record mechanic where you could go back and watch the whole match just to see what they were doing. Okay, and this is on console. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Okay, at the end of the day, the bigger problem isn't these devices, it's people and other stuff. So I think let people play with the toys. Don't be banning stuff where people spend all this money investing on your crap. It's no different than PlayStation banning this dude because they say his name is a terrorist name and he sent his driver's license and everything. It was his legit name, and they banned his whole account, lost all that money he invested for years on content, movies, games, and all, because they say his name. And since PlayStation didn't have the ability to change names at the time, they just banned his whole account.
Yeah,
Now, is that
absolutely
fair?
stupid.
No.
Nope. I actually worked at a school, and one of the kids' name going through school was Fidel Castro. Yeah, and you know what? It's not his fault. He didn't pick the name.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
this. My friend, and you won't know who he is, but because he changed his name. His name was Jay. His last name was Master, and his middle name was Bates. I ain't gonna say the whole thing, but I don't know why his parents named him that, but that's what it was, and he had changed his name. That's not fair either.
Nope.
That's what I'm getting at.
Because sometimes parents are evil.
But I'm saying, like, if you invest all that money, you can't take that away from people. That's just gonna piss them off and make them move somewhere else. If you're going to spend money and invest, you need to find a way where, if you're going to attack a problem, attack the bigger problem. Don't be sweeping up this stuff where people are investing money. The things that you should attack is the things that ruin the terms of service. Let's be real. These devices do not go against the term of service because it doesn't modify the game itself. It doesn't modify the code in the console. It just runs scripts that makes it seem like you're running with keyboard and mouse. That's all it's doing. You are allowed to do whatever the hell you want. You can I don't know if you guys know this, but you can overclock your controllers. You can overclock them and get a DPI 1600, just like a mouse.
I'm definitely not going to do that.
But I mean, I'm just giving you an example. Like, you have the right to do whatever the hell you want with something you bought. So why are you messing with something if it does not violate the terms of service? And you're not even doing anything with the things that are violating the terms of service.
Right.
I'm sure there's something in there about these devices like the Cronus, but they
If-
probably
if
call
that-
it something.
If that was the case, first of all, the Cronus is just a USB dongle. That is not against terms of service. By itself, it does nothing. A person has to load it with payloads for it to work. So it does not void the terms of service by itself when you buy it. So it has to be done. You got to do something to it for it to do anything. So it's just no different. What's the other thing? What's the other controller thing?
Apex was one.
Yeah, whatever. Buying it out the box does not violate terms of service. You have to do something to it. This is what I keep talking about. You can ban this one item, they'll just make another one and call it something else and still give you a better functionality, because guess what? Out of the box, it does nothing. It just functions just like a normal whatever the hell it's supposed to be. So
Right.
when you spend this much time trying to ban something that truly doesn't do anything but what it, it's just a controller that works. It's a third-party controller that just works on. So
Yeah.
what if that person's not using it for that? What if they're not?
Yeah.
You're just gonna make it so that they can't use this one item that they spent money on, and they may or may not have bought it for that purpose, and they're just using it for a regular thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
no, I do.
it's crazy to me. I'm sorry, I've been talking too long. Go ahead, Paul.
But you make a point, because let's say I did decide to use it, because personally I like to use I don't like typing on either one of my consoles. If I can connect a keyboard to the thing, I'm connecting a keyboard to it. So when I have to put in passwords or type out long messages, I have that option.
Yeah, because out of the box is just a USB. That's all it is. It's a USB dongle. It don't do anything.
Yeah, and I also think that, like you said, they shouldn't be doing this on the console side. It should be up to the developer, like be it the developer for Call of Duty or the
that's
developer
different.
for whoever.
That's different.
Because out of the console, if I want to hook up a mouse and keyboard, it should be an option. It is for Microsoft now. Not all their games use the mouse and keyboard, but that's a game by game basis. It's not a console limitation anymore. And I don't.
It's the input user.
Right.
It's the input user device, right?
Yep.
If it works on PC, it should work on console.
Yeah, and I don't see why it shouldn't. I mean, okay, yeah, some gamers are going to use it, and that'll give them an unfair advantage or whatever. But again, that should be on the developer.
Not
the
subset of those people out there compared to the other ones that's not even using that.
Right.
It's like 99.9%.
Yep. So
you're fighting here.
You're putting a Band-Aid on a cracked dam. It's like you're really maybe it looks good to the common person, but it's really, if you know what you're looking at, they're really not doing anything. They're not doing anything.
They'll just come out with something else and call it a different name and just upgrade the software to do something else. Then
even when the company comes down and says, "Hey, look, we're going to find a way to work around this," it's like it used to be in the old days when you had like the DirecTV boxes, and some of us had card readers and writers that could override the copy protection, so we could get HBO and all the pay channels for free. And they would patch it, and then we'd come back every 6 weeks or so and have to repatch the card.
So I'm gonna just say, not we, not 4G QTV,
not we, yeah. But it's not something that happens anymore that much.
It's
anyway.
something allegedly happened in Paul's past.
Yeah,
we're not claiming anything.
but it's same with like game piracy and stuff, even through the days of the Commodore 64 and stuff. It's always a game of cat and mouse, and it's usually that it's not the developer or the rights holder that's the cat in that situation most of the time.
All I'm saying is it's a hardware item.
Yeah.
Not a software item, a hardware item, an input device. That out of the box when you buy it, does it have anything that violates terms of service? No.
I was thinking the other devices like that. Fire sticks are like that.
Right. Fire sticks are like that too. But you have to do something to it in order to do something, but out of the box. What if Samsung just said, well, I'm just going to block all the Fire sticks? You know what kind of hell will bring if they did that? You know what kind of hell that would, boy, that would be insane. We just going to block all of the Samsung Fire sticks because we don't want them doing malicious code, because one kid hacked the dang on police force from Fire stick.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So they use that as the reason we can't do that. That will be the end of Samsung. Like, you have to understand, this is dumb, because you're talking about a small subset of people for an input device that does not violate any kind of terms of service out of the box. You
Nope.
have to do something to it. And just because somebody knows how to do something with it does not mean you blocking on the hardware, because it's a hardware input device. If it was software, that's different. I'm not even saying I'm with that either way, but it is different when it's
Right.
software, because then you're manipulating the code and the platform and an integrity of the platform. That's different. But these controllers, devices, man, they need to chill.
I actually don't like pineapple in general.
Oh, he
I
loves
will
it.
I will have it in small doses sometimes, but in general, I will not opt
I
to
love
eat it.
pineapple.
Back,
My
I
favorite.
have 2 cans of pineapple that were sent to me about a little over a year ago from a friend of the channels, and they're still sitting in the closet. Uh, and they will probably stay there until I know I'm going to meet him. Then I'm going to take them with me and throw them at him.
Oh,
Whoa,
wow. Wow, that's
whoa.
brutal.
I hope they ain't got no hair by
Well,
that time.
they're small cans of pineapple. They won't hurt
Oh,
that much.
oh, they
So
in cans. Okay.
yeah.
I thought it was fresh
So
ones. I was like,
we're
damn.
getting up to the hour 15 mark, and I want you guys to stick around because I got some important announcements to make. But I want to let these guys do their outros, and then I'll tell you the important announcements I have to make. I think a lot of the fans of the channel are going to think they're pretty cool. PK, as you are the most electrifying man in all of YouTube land.
Before we go, everybody who's watching, go watch the new He-Man. It did drop on Netflix.
Not yet, not till after the show. After the show.
Yeah.
Shouting out He-Man in the middle of our outros.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Listen to
I'm
this
just saying.
man.
Make sure, they do go check it out after the show.
All right, but stick around because I got something important to say. Really important. All right, so PK, where can people find you?
4GQ TV on Twitter. PKX Live. Hey, listen. Thanks for everybody coming through. We had a good discussion. Paul was pretty fire. He was on fire today. I don't know. He must have had a special juice or something.
No, it's just all that crap about the layoffs had me going.
Oh yeah.
Not-
Okay. So
not about the channel, just all day. I've wanted to talk about it, and I'm like, I
didn't know if you put a
people.
little Kanye pepper in your drink or something like that. He was like,
Hey, dude, I'm gonna let you finish, but first,
yeah, like that is, yo, hey, but I appreciate it, Paul. It was a good discussion.
But let's talk about Travis Kelce. Oh wait, no, that's not.
Paul definitely had some prune
Why-
juice tonight.
why-
He got a little risky with that prune juice.
Why you get messy now, man? What's anyways,
The world of Paul. Go ahead, PK.
yeah, I was just saying, definitely catch me here. We got things coming down the pipe, I know, and next couple months gonna be super busy. So we got some cons and events and I think Paul's gonna show us a new magic trick. So
Woo, woo.
that's all I got. Thanks everyone.
All right, you can find me at the app formerly called Twitter, that I still call Twitter and will always call Twitter. At Cerebral Paul 1. You can find me on Twitch at Cerebral Paul. You can find me on Tuesdays on the Xbox Ambassador channel for Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul at 12:30 p.m. East Pacific, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Mondays and Thursdays, you can find me right here on 4GQ TV for the Pop-Up Powerbomb podcast and 4GQ TV, this podcast. And on Fridays, you can find me on Wasted with Wise. And on Tuesdays, I always almost forget the poor people down there at Retro Renegades. But yeah, there you go.
Well, Jay will be happy you said that tonight. So catch
Yeah.
Paul on Tuesdays of Retro Renegades. All right, guys. So before I get out of here, you guys all know you can find me on 4GQ TV or roaming your local convention floor, usually. I got some really big announcements that you guys might be excited for. If you guys are into music, LFO, one of the guys from Sync, BB Mac, Jake Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi's son, and
Which is funny because in our just so you know, in our DM, Carlos spelled it multiple times. John Bong Jovi.
no,
Yeah,
I did
with a
not.
G. You did. Go look at it. You did.
Well,
So,
anyway, their PR people have requested that they come on the channel for an interview, so we are working on that. Hey, what's up, R2? So I'm excited for that. That's going to be a lot of fun Jake Bon Jovi is the one who is currently dating Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. So, also, if you guys ever have questions on some of these things, feel free to drop it on our community comments on YouTube or reach out to us on the website at 4GQTV.com. We're building it back up. Looks really good right now. We got the layout where we want it, and we're gonna start posting a lot more that has to do with pop culture. And our friends from cosplay want to hang around a little bit, so it's gonna be some fun times at 4GQTV the next year. And hopefully we got to keep the momentum going and keep Paul on those emails so that I can get these things scheduled, because without Paul, I would be lost. Well, anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging out on 4GQTV. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you, everybody.
Wait a minute, did Paul do his outro? What the heck?
Yeah, I did. You must
Okay.
have fell asleep.